Hello and welcome back to Russ Plays Games. My name is Russ, and then today we're continuing our Let's Play of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. I think I forgot to mention in the previous episode that this particular Final Fantasy was made in some some people made so Square Enix, or well, now they're Square Enix. Back then they were just Square Soft in the U.S. and they brought over a demo of Final Fantasy V for people to try, and the test audience found that they didn't really understand the job class system. They really didn't understand much about the game itself, and this was kind of a test group that they pulled from a whole bunch of different people. So they decided that because people really didn't like or maybe didn't understand some of the Final Fantasy games, that maybe they should make a game that was kind of an intermediate game. It was like kind of going to get people to get into role-playing games, and it would be kind of a step up. And this was before Pokemon came out. So Pokemon was kind of that game that kind of hit big, and it really kind of took off, and it also had the accompanying thing. And a lot of the Final Fantasy players that bought this ended up turning off the general public because they bought this game and they went, "It's so simple, it's so stupid, don't play it." And so it didn't sell that well here in the U.S. And in Europe, it was just called Mystic Quest. There was no Final Fantasy to it. There was nothing else. And then in Japan, this was called Final Fantasy USA because it was released most exclusively here. And so then they released the Final Fantasy III a little bit later, which was 6 in Japan, and that game broke all the records. And so I'm playing this game because I just kind of wanted to play it and have fun, and I really like this game. I think it's pretty fun. I'm back here at the level forest because I forgot to show you guys what's in these chests. Now, what's interesting is that you can actually go around this guy. Ha ha. So I've got some heal potions. Those might come in handy a little bit later. Alright, and then we're going to come up here, because we can come up through here. We're going to have to fight a couple of battles to get to this chest. But I just kind of wanted to show you what was in some of these chests that we couldn't get to earlier. And this also kind of gives you an opportunity to see Tristan in action. Because we haven't actually seen Tristam in action, so this is kind of a neat little way that we can see him in action, so it's kind of cool. As you can see, I'm now level 5. I was level 3 when we left. That's because I gained a couple of levels while I was playing in while I was cleaning out the battlefields to get them down to the appropriate number of battles, down to battles number 1. One battle left, and so I'm just kind of just working on this and just kicking some serious tail here. As you can see, the axe attack is pretty powerful, and so we find some more heal potions. That's good, and we're gonna need those. All right, now to get back over to this one, because then we can kind of see where that is. I think we actually saw this one earlier, because I think I actually went up to that one. Alright. And so there you go. You can actually kind of go through the whole forest, and you don't really have to fight that many battles. So I just kind of wanted to show you some of those neat little things, and then I think I might have shown this one before. But there's just some cure potions in that one. And you can actually clear out all these trees if you wish. It really doesn't do anything because they all come back when you leave and stuff. So but yeah, when you see these little brown chests, if you're playing along, if you see those little brown chests, you can leave and you can come back and they will be absolutely full. So now we're going to come up here to this battlefield, and we're going to see what we win after we clear out the entire battlefield. At this battlefield, you will mostly fight these poison toads, and you will fight the mad plants. Now, the mad plants are trees. If you had to pick out of the 2 weapons that we currently carry, a sword and an axe, which one do you think a tree might be weak against, or that you might use against a tree? You'd probably be thinking axe, right? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do, and I'll show you. Now you'll see this little thing that it says Poison Toad is strong against poison attack. That just means that the Poison Toad actually gives you the poison status effect. And so it can actually hit you. And so you can see there that the Mad Plant was weak against the Axe attack. Oh, and I leveled up again. We cleaned them out in 154 experience points, and we leveled up a second time. So now I'm already level 7. That is amazing. I don't think I've ever leveled up that much in 2 battles. I don't think I've ever had that happen before. That is weird. So you can see I've got to go to about 10,000 now. About 10,3. To level up. So I've got a while before I will level up again. But that was odd. I don't think I've ever leveled up twice in a battle. That is weird. Oh, just to kind of show you here, this is Tristam's equipment. He wears a black robe, and he's got a moon helm. Okay. The moon helm is strong against fire, and he's protected from the curse status ailment. That's what that little skull is. And for his weapons, he has the ninja stars. And as you can see, they inflict poison, which is that little beaker with the liquid in it, and then it also inflicts paralysis. Not that it actually ever hits. Alright. So this is the other battlefield we're about to clean out, and we're going to, here again, attack the Mad Plant. You'll fight basilisks here too. I was actually hoping for a basilisk instead of the Mad Plant. But you'll fight basilisks. We'll get into those when we get into the Bone Dungeon here in a second. I'm surprised he did not hit me with poison fluid. That is amazing. He just like smacked me. Alright, and we won the Charm Pendant. So the Charm Pendant is our second piece of armor. As you can see, gives us a defense power of 1. So now we have a defense of 25. So as you level up, your defense will automatically go up, and so will your attack. And depending on what weapon you have, you can see my attack power changes. So if I go to the sword, I have a 27 attack. If I go to the axe, I have a 31 attack power. So that's the difference between them, is 4. So it's actually easier just to use the axe for everything. Okay, so we're gonna go to the Bone Dungeon here, and we're gonna go wee. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clear out this one side right here because it'll be easier for me to get out of here. There's a reason why I showed that. Okay, now these are worms. These are weak against axe attacks and earth attacks. So like if I had a quick spell, I could use it against them, and they would be weak against it. Okay, here's some basilisks. So these are what I was talking about at that other battlefield. You will fight these too, as well as the poison toads. They're mainly the poison toads at that other battlefield, with these basilisks and sometimes the mad plants. And I missed. I can't believe I missed. Alright. Ow. That's not feeling too good. Okay. And so, yeah, we're just clearing them out. The reason why we're clearing these guys out is because we want to be able to, I'm going to get rid of this poison toad because they can poison you, and I don't want to have to use too many heal potions. Because when I get to the end of the dungeon, my companion here will be leaving, and I just don't want to have to fight all these battles by myself, and it'll be a lot easier for me just to walk out of the dungeon without having to worry too much about fighting some of the people. And ow, that hurt. Oh, come on. Are you flippin' serious? Hit this guy. Come on. Usually if one misses, the other one hits. It's weird like that. Alright, and then we're going to kill this guy, and we're going to get this chest. Now, these guys can cast the Quake spell, and it will hurt. When we get to when we get to the boss, I'll explain some of his attacks right before we get there. So that there was Ninja Stars, some of his stuff. Now, the reason why I cleared that one side out, because you saw me run up that moving sand, because you can see this moving sand right here. Well, if I try to walk into it, it doesn't allow me to walk into it, see? So, because if I jump over this and then I come back down here to the bottom, and I can actually show you that if I turn onto it, see, it actually takes me up, see, and I can't go, that's the only way that it goes. It only takes me up towards the mouth, so I can't just go up there. I can't just jump back on it and ride it back down. It goes only in one direction. And so that's why I cleared out that one side, is because I'm like, I don't want to have to fight all the monsters on the other side. And I don't want to make you sit through every single thing. Okay? Now, up here, you'll see that there's one of those really cool chests. We can't get to it. There's something in the way. See, I'm trying to walk. I'm walking forward. I can't jump it. There must be some way to destroy that. I'm foreshadowing. The door's sealed shut. Well, here it goes. Watch this. Aren't these something? I'll sell you some cheap. How about 50 explosives for 30 GP? Okay. Learn how to use bomb. Alright, so these are the third of our 4 weapons. These are bombs, and as you can see, they have a real huge attack power. When we get into an actual fight, I will show you why you're not going to want to use these all the time, especially if there's multiple enemies on screen. Okay, and some people might end up writing in the comments right now like, "Durr, I know what it is." And we have our third piece of equipment, the steel shield. It has a defensive power of 5. So now we have 6 plus 5 plus 1. So we have a defense total of 12, and we have a 30 defense. Okay? So that's what it is. Sometimes it kind of sucks to have to try to traverse. I mean, that was one of the things they fixed in Final Fantasy. Well, I guess they did it a little bit in Final Fantasy V with the Thief class. They had the ability to sprint really fast, like to move around the map really fast. And you don't move across the overworld that fast, but you move in towns. You move like super quick. And then they added in relics in Final Fantasy VI that had the sprint shoes. But this was before they came up with that, so you still move like a frickin' snail. Okay, so we're going to fight these guys. It's a new enemy. It's the Rock. And it's not the Rock. It's like a bird. Okay. You're going to notice that there's going to be a ton of palette swaps. And you'll notice that, I mean, yes, I hit that guy with the bombs, and it was really powerful. But you're not going to always want to use the bombs in battles, only because the bombs are very, very unreliable. And I'll show you if we have more than one enemy here. So yeah, let's see if it'll do it. Oh, no, it's not going to do it. Dang it. I need like 3 people on screen. Okay, so you can see that it hit like 247. So if I'd hit both of those, then you take that 247, you divide it in half. Okay? Then from there, you take that other, if you had 3 enemies on screen, you take that 247 and you divide it by 3, and that's how much damage it deals to each enemy. So the bombs aren't actually all that powerful. They're very powerful against regular enemies, but they're, or bosses, where you only have one one sprite on the screen at a time, but for multiple sprites, it doesn't work that well. But because Tristam's going first here, this is actually advantageous for us because they're flying, they're weak against the shoot attack, which means that The shoot attack is anything thrown or like a bow. We won't see a bow ever in this game. The only 4 weapons that we have will not feature a bow anywhere, which I wish it would, but it kind of sucks. So I'm going to switch back and fight with my axe on this one just because it's easier. Just because he's weak against the axe attack. Now, here we go. Now I can demonstrate how the bomb works. So you'll notice that it showed me. So now you can see that it actually divided the damage down, so it only did 74 damage per skeleton. Okay? And that's why it's not a good idea to attack multiple enemies with the bomb. It's easier to actually go one at a time, just because it will actually deal more damage. Now, I probably could have used the bomb and killed those guys right there because Tristam missed with his ninja stars, and it's likely I might have done enough damage to actually kill them, but I just wanted to make sure that I was dealing the damage and killing them. Okay, so there's nothing that way. Just making sure there's nothing around. And this guy looks familiar, doesn't he? So this is the Gorgon. He's a palette swap of the behemoth that we fought on the Hill of Destiny in the last episode. And now we're going to, well, almost kill him. He's like, ouch. He poisoned both of us. That's not fun. So this is a status ailment known as poison. Poison's fun. So what we're going to do is we come up here, we go to our heal potions, and we just do that. Alright. Got 10 more explosives. Okay. And I'll need this. Boom. Okay, so you can see that the bones, if you go back and pause it just right before I put the bomb, you'll see that there was a little crack in the bones, kind of like looked like the wall, and that's where you just like with Zelda, you just put the thing on it and hit it, and it does damage to that thing. This should kill the Gorgon in one hit. Alright. 10 ninja stars. Now, up here you'll notice that there is sand, but if you go into it, like if you try to go into it from here, it just takes you right back down here, so it doesn't matter. It just takes you, no matter where you enter, it just takes you straight down to that. Okay? Which means it forces us into the fighting these guys. And so, which kind of sucks, but what are you going to do, huh? But, we're just going to kill these guys very quickly, and then we're just going to move on to the next portion of the dungeon. Because there's one spot that I want to get to. Well, actually, I want to beat the whole dungeon here in this episode, and then get to the next area. But, boom. Now, there's something interesting here. So we fought the Minotaur earlier, right? So this guy's a zombie Minotaur. And anyone who's played a Final Fantasy game knows what zombies and skeletons and various things like that are weak against. So, if we go to Cure and we hit this guy, it actually deals damage to him. And if you wanted to, I don't want to waste all my spell points, but yes, you could use it against the skeletons. It will deal them damage, but you don't really need to at this point because you're powerful enough that the skeletons will die very, very quickly just under your regular axe attacks or even a bomb. So you really don't need to waste it. You can target multiple enemies, but the problem is you risk any undead creatures will get healed by the heal spell. It's just how it works. So, and like I said, we don't want to waste all of our stuff. And I did not realize Tristam was at 60. Holy crap. I am oblivious. Alright. That's probably good. Actually, I'll use one more. There we go. And we'll save, just in case. You can't see it, but I have a big shit-eating grin on my face. Alright. So, I'm going to do this one more time. Nope, I don't want to do that. I want to do that. That's the other thing. If you press, like usually in, like if you were playing Final Fantasy 2 or 3, you can press either left on the control pad or L to target all of the people on one side. All the monsters usually, because they're on the left side of the screen, unless you have like a back attack or a pincer attack. But then you're targeting all the people on one side of the screen anyway. So I'm just saying in general. And then usually to target your party members, you would press right or you would press or R on the thing. Now, when that happens, you in a Final Fantasy game, when you do that normally, that targets everybody. Well, in this game, because you're at the bottom of the screen and they're at the top of the screen, if you want to target all of your people, then you just press down. You target both of the people in your party. And if you press up when you're on the monster, if you press up, it goes to the targets the monsters. And then if you press up, it targets all the monsters. Unless it's like a bomb attack, which targets all of the monsters all at once. Okay. So I think this is the room I wanted to get to. These are seeds. So in this game, you use these to replenish your magic points. Okay. So, like the original Final Fantasy, you'll notice that, like Tristam down there, he has 7 white spells, and he's got the life spell. That means he can cast the life spell 7 times before he runs out. If he runs out, then guess what? He can't cast that anymore. If you use a seed, you can actually replenish those lost magic points. So, like, I have 5 white spells, 3 black spells, and 1 wizard spell. If I use, and the thing about the seed is that it replenishes all your spell slots for everything. Doesn't matter how many times you can cast it normally. If you use the seed, it actually gives you the entire thing. So it's actually really useful, and you will want to buy these later. There's a way that you can buy them, but it's not until much later in the game. So probably what's going to happen is after I get done with this episode is I'm going to spend some time going in and stocking up, going into this dungeon and stocking up on the seeds, just so I have enough to make it through the next few areas, because it sucks when you don't do that. So yeah. So yeah, it's much easier when you think about it this way. It's much easier to do it'll be much easier in the long run if you spend some time to stock up on some of the seeds, because when you start getting into some of the later dungeons, especially in the next area, they're very long, and so if you can have those spells on hand, that will give you the ability to be able to replenish the magic points that you lose, because the next person that you get in your party will have a lot of magical attacks, and that person is very, very good with magic, and so you're going to want that, because that's what you're going to end up with. Okay. And it's kind of interesting because that party member will be with you almost the rest of the game. There's a couple spots where they won't be with us, but when we finally but they'll be with us kind of towards the end game. So that's kind of why I'm saying you'll want seeds, is because she's an amazing magic user, and I kind of spoiled it, but anyway. But we just found our first magic spell. So let me come over here and show you this is the Quake spell. So, just like it says, it is the Quake spell. Anyone who's played a Final Fantasy game knows what the Quake spell is. And so, this is the Quake spell. I can only use it 3 times. But there's a reason why you're getting this spell right now, and I'll explain it once we get to the actual battle. There's a reason why we have this now. Alright, I'm not even gonna worry about trying to use my my thing on him, because the bomb will work just fine. So, alright. And I believe we're almost to the boss. Yep. So this is the boss of the dungeon. And you can see that we have a couple of chests to either side. And we have a couple of the brown chests. But we've got to go through the boss. Grr, you'll never beat me. I have the power of the Crystal of Earth. Yeah, whatever, Flamorous Rex. Say hello to Flamorous Rex. Now, contrary to popular opinion, he does not actually cast flame spells. He's an earth-based monster, so he's going to be casting earth spells. But he's also weak to earth, which is the reason why we have the Quake spell. Now, Tristam, he's probably actually going to want to cast life on himself. Only because that. And that's going to fully heal him. Okay. Oof. Ouch, I forgot how hard this guy hits. Okay, let me see here. Yes, I'm going to want to use that, and then I'm going to want to use the life spell one more time on him. Ouch. Man, he is really going after Tristam. Never had this happen before. Usually he starts attacking me. Let me see here. We'll just attack with that. And attack. That's okay. He can absorb that one. It was just when he hit him for 132 damage. Oof. And let's see here. Alright, let's just keep attacking. Ow. He smacked me hard with that attack. Okay, so he basically has about 3 attacks. So pretty much what he does is he has the Quake spell, which he will use called Rip Earth, which is a Quake spell. He will use it against you. He will also throw his rib bones at you, and he will, as you saw with that one, he's got like a pokey attack, like a sword attack that he will attack with that does massive damage. And then he also has a smack attack that can hit up to like 2 times. And so there's like 4 attacks that he does mostly. And he's probably going to start trying to do that Rip Earth attack, which is why I'm going to take a moment to actually... shoot. That's fine. Okay, let's attack, and we'll attack. So, and he's also strong against the poison and paralyze attack, which I don't know why it doesn't matter, but there you can see that he was using the Rip Earth. Actually, here we're gonna take a second to heal, and ow. He just tried to chew me. That's not fun. Okay. So now that we're back up to full, let's give him an attack. Oof. That might kill him. That did kill him. Yes. Whew. We beat the first boss of the game. First true boss of the game. Okay, look, the crystal. Never mind that, get a load of this stuff. We won't see that till much later in the game. I'll keep this. Oh, here's what you wanted. And we received our second key item, Elixir. Alright, and we've got a couple of some cure potions and some explosives. And we get our third key item, the sand coin. And as you can see, here's the crystal of earth. Yay, crystal of earth. Look, I've got to go. See you around, kid. Thanks. I agree with you, Benjamin. I agree with you. What in the world was that? But the nice thing is, it's pretty easy to get out of this dungeon. You just kind of go over here, you just ride this. And then you come down here, go down here. So what I'm going to end up doing is that room that was right up there, here, I'll just come right up here. This room that's right up here with the seeds in it, I'll just show you. So this room right here, okay, I'm going to come back to this room probably 4 or 5 times just to get more seeds once I get the next person, just because I'm going to need those to get through that, to get to the bosses and stuff of those areas, because they can be very tough if you're not careful. But this is why it's easy to come out of the dungeon, because you can allow the sand to do a lot of the work for you. But as you can see, because my companion left, I'm by myself. Now, I can handle some of these monsters because I am level 7, but I don't necessarily need to. And I don't need to go through a bunch of needless battles to get out of the dungeon. Especially since I'm kind of, well, you know, showing you guys how to play the game. I really don't need to sit there and go through everything. And go through all those needless battles. And so, we're going to go back to Foresta. Now, remember what the area around Foresta looked like. It was brown, it was dead, you know, because the Crystal of Earth was being drained, right? Well, folks, take a look now. We restored the Crystal of Earth, which restored the Earth. Anyone who played the original Final Fantasy would know that when you had the... hurry and give Kaeli the medicine. I'm going to grab these cure potions first. Benjamin, is it really you? Here's the elixir. Thank you. Now I can go visit Spencer in Aquaria. Why don't I go to Aquaria first and look around? Where is it? It's through the Focus Tower to the northeast. Take care. Yeah, she's still pretty sick. Bye now. We'll be coming back here later in the game to find someone or to find out what's going on. And we'll be picking up a key item much later in the game. Sorry, I thought I had my axe on. I was like, yeah. I'm like, why are I not cutting down these trees? Oh, I'm trying to blow them up with bombs. That doesn't really work. Okay, so we're going to go up through the Focus Tower. There's a battlefield here, and I'm not going to do that now, because what I'm going to do is, once I get to the other place and we find out what's going on, then I'm going to end the episode, and what I'm going to do is, I'll note this once we get to the other area of what's going on. I will go through, and there's like a whole bunch of battlefields, and I'll get all of those down to one so that you can see what each one, and this one, and then what I'll do is I'll start probably from right here, and then we'll just kind of go through, and I can show you kind of what's going on with that. Now, you can see that there's a place here. There's also a place up here if you walk all the way up. There's like a hidden... They meant for you to go that way, but they put a hidden passage so that you could sneak up on the old man. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Well done, Benjamin. Remember, Captain Mac will be crucial to your quest. Huh? A girl named Phoebe can help you. But I'm going to Aquaria. Maybe you'll find her along the way. As I said, get used to that. You're gonna see it a lot. Alrighty, and I think we can get some more explosives out of this one. Now, you can see that there are 4 doors right here, okay? So there's one with a sword, there's one with a staff, there's one with, like, what looks like some fire, and then there's one that looks like a vase, or a vessel of some kind, or a cup. Well, if we look at our items, okay, so here's the elixir, that's the second key item that we got. If we look at this sand coin, we see that it has a sword on it, and it's, well, yellow in color. So, let's see here. Could we do this one? Nope. We can't do that one, and we can't get to that one. There's only one way you can get to that door, and it's a roundabout kind of way. It opened! That's because we have the coin for it. Now you can see that we can kind of walk around in this focus tower a little bit. There's really not much that we can do here because honestly at this point there's really not much that we can do. If we go in here we can see some chests that we can't get to just yet. But we do see a chest down here that we can get to. And we found our second black magic spell, the fire spell. I wonder why we have the fire spell. Well, we're about to find out. As if we go out through this door right here in the focus tower, we end up in Aquaria region. And here's the Libra Temple. Now, we can't go anywhere. You can kind of see that there's an up arrow and then there's a right arrow, and they're both grayed out, and we can't go either way. So let's go in here. Nothing happens. I'll explain this right now. What you need is you're going to be getting crests as key items in later parts of the game, and you're going to come back to these places, and you're going to be able to travel from one place to another in the world using these crests. It's like a warp travel, okay? Hi. It's hopeless. I give up. Aquaria's frozen. People are sick. Grandpa's trapped. Wait, have you ever heard of a man named Spencer? Why, he's my grandpa. What luck. Let's go free him. But we can't. I'm going home. Hey, what's your name? Where are you from? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Phoebe from Aquaria. You're Phoebe? Then I'm going with you. And Phoebe joined. Okay. I'll explain this to you. So, Phoebe is level 15. She has this lovely little claw, the cat claw. Now, anyone who's played the original Final Fantasy knows that the cat claw was the ultimate weapon for the black mage. The fighter and the thief and the ninja and the knight could use it too, and I think the red mage could use it. Red mage, red wizard could use it, but usually you'd put it on your black mage. So in this game, it's an actual claw, okay, and it almost looks like a jaguar paw or a cat, a cat paw. And so you're going to see this from time to time that people are going to have. That's what I'm saying. The thing that Tristam had, we're going to see much later in the game. Guess why? What do you think our fourth weapon is? Okay, I'll give you a hint. We're looking at it. Yes, we will get this claw eventually. And so I'm just going to spoil it now. We're going to get this claw eventually. It inflicts poison and paralysis damage. It's actually a fairly decent weapon. You can see that the axe is still a little bit more powerful than it. It only has an attack power of 27. In fact, she's going to be fairly weak while she has this, but we can't get through some of the dungeons in the game without the claw. And so we're going to end up getting some decent stuff later. And then we'll look at her armor here, and she has the magic ring. And she has the Mystic Robe, which gives her defense against wind, which is that little tornado right under the E in defense, and right under the F, that's water. So it protects against water and wind damage. So now that we have her, we can go over to Aquaria, which is what we're going to do. And you can see that there's all these battlefields that we will be clearing out off screen. And you can see that there's a little palace to the north, and then there's some stuff to the right. We can't go there just yet. Okay. So we're going to come over here to the inn, and we're going to talk to some people here. How about some explosives? Now, you can actually buy, like, up to your 99 allotment of explosives. I might do that here in a minute. This guy says, "Oh, the healing herbs are frozen, so I can't make my cure potion." So, after some events, we're actually going to be able to buy cure potions from this guy, so that's actually pretty nice. And then if we want to, we can take a rest here. We don't really need to. No thanks. But there is. Brr, the ice doesn't melt even when heated. Gee, I wonder why. Now, we go in here. We can see this little kid here. Cold air made grandma sick. I forgot to talk to some of the people in Forest. When you talk to them, they kind of tell you things like, "Hey, you know, we're people." Now, it looks like you can go in there, but for right now, we can't. And also, you can see that there's that. If that kid wasn't in the way, we actually could have appeared right there. And that would have actually been... We would have actually been right there at that waterfall. There's really not much you can do. Yeah. There's really not much you can do at this point with some of these places. And we can talk to this person. The monster in the ice pyramid makes itself invisible. Come on. Come here. I can't jump over you. Ah, you dumb jerk. Kill. Alright. I thought I could get that way. That's Phoebe's house. We don't want to go in there just yet. But what we do want to do, actually, we want to go up over here. We want to go up here. And we want to go up to this house up here on the hill. And there's a reason why we want to go up to this house on the hill. The monster in the ice pyramid up north is draining the water power of the crystal of water. Noticing a trend yet? Okay. How about buying my steel helmet for 200 GP? Okay. Bought the steel helm. Hope you're happy with the steel helm. Well, now we have our fourth piece of armor. The steel helm. It gives us a defense power of 4. Now we will be getting, actually, I think, our second shield and armor in this particular place. And we found our fourth item, the refresher. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm now going to talk about the refresher. So what this is now we're going to start getting into monsters that actually drain status from you. Like, actually drain things like your attack, defense, speed, and what happens is that you'll end up going, like, last in terms of being in the battle. You'll end up, like, you won't attack first. You'll attack, like, after everybody else kind of thing. Or if you get your defense lowered, they can hit you. And what you can do is that you can use a refresher to bring that back up to normal. And the thing about that is that it ends at the end of the battle. So, like, if your defense gets drawn down, generally you'll end up killing the monster before you really need to use the refresher anyway. So I don't think I've ever used a refresher in a playthrough of this. Honestly, like, for the longest time, I never even knew what it was used for. But as you can see, this is why I wanted to have that. I'm going to go back to the Bone Dungeon and go get seeds is because look at all of the spells she has. She has Cure, she has Heal, she has Life, she has Fire, and she has a nifty Thunder spell in the Wizard slot. These spells are powerful, and we won't even be seeing our first Wizard spell until probably the next area, I think. I don't remember if we get one in this one or not. We might, but I don't remember. So don't, like, you can probably put it down on the comment section if we do, but I don't remember, is the thing. Because I remember that these, you get 4 of these spells, and they are super powerful. And so, yeah, that's kind of how that works. Dang it. You piece of junk, get out of the way. These NPCs, they suck. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to Phoebe's house. She says, "So, Phoebe, where's Spencer trapped?" "In the tunnel he was digging under here. The dirt is frozen solid, so he can't get out." "Can't we melt it?" "Not until we get wake water from the Spring of Life. But a monster in the wintry cave stole the Libra crest, which warps us from the Libra temple to the Life temple." "Anyway, we have to get that whatchamacallit crest back, right?" "Right, to the wintry cave." Alrighty, so we get some 3 heal potions in there. So I think that's pretty much it for what this is. So I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go back out here to the world map. Actually, I might go, how much gold do I have? I am not thinking. How much gold do I have? It's probably under status, isn't it? 184 gold. So I can't buy all of the bombs I need, which is a big deal. I really don't care. You're never going to run out anyway. One of the things that's going to happen is after we get the actual claw from Phoebe in the next episode, we're actually going to end up getting the cat claw. And she will end up with something called the Bow of Grace, which is like the ultimate weapon. This thing is powerful. And that's basically her weapon. So it's kind of like Tristam's shurikens or ninja stars. It's extremely powerful. Now, I forgot to mention this before when we got Tristam in our party and when we had Kaeli in our party. When you get a person in your party, they're going to be several levels ahead of you. And it doesn't matter how many levels. Like when we first got Tristam, we were at level 3, he was at level 7. And now we got Phoebe, she's level 15. That's a target. You want to be at or above that level before you fight the boss of the area that you're in. So, for instance, Phoebe is at level 15. We are going to want to be close to level 14, 15, 16 before we go face the boss of this area. Okay? So, when we go to the Wintry Cave, we're probably going to be about level 10. Around that, when we get in there, 9 or 10 when we get in there, but by the time we get done doing the Bone Dungeon, and by the time we get done doing all of the battlefields, and then going through the Wintry Cave. So, yeah, that's gonna kind of be the thing. So now we can go over here, as you can see, and so there's the Wintry Cave. This is our next destination, and as you can see, there's a battlefield over there, but we can't get to it right at the moment. But there's a battlefield here. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. And then there's the 5th one over there. So there's 5 battlefields, and then I've got to go get some of the seeds. So, I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. When I come back, I'm going to be at the battlefield just to the side of the focus tower there where we entered through the cave into the focus tower where I told you I'd come back. And I will be there, and the battlefield will be at 1. And then I'll show you how many seeds I have and why that's important. So, this has been Russ Plays Games. So, tune in next time to part 3 to figure out exactly what's going to happen to Benjamin and Phoebe in the Wintry Cave. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.